Okay, week 8 of spring anime. We got a cool moment as we're inching closer to the ending. There's a lot of emotional moments from Vivy, some cool developments from My Hero, as well as some racism we got tackle in 86, as well as having more new character introductions and plot developments. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so for My Hero Academia, Season 5, Episode 10, we got Deku's power kind of like evolving into like some new shit that we never expected before. Before that, it's them Class 1A versus Class 1B, the final battle. We see the Class 1B characters. They're actually like, they had some unique powers, some actual like cool combat powers. So there was like this ghost girl called Emily, whose quirk is Poltergeist, where she can just like drag objects around and hit you with them. But they have to be like maximum the weight of a person. So she can't do like really heavy things. But then she can kind of use her power with this girl rule, where her quirk makes things smaller. So yeah, she can make things smaller. Emily poltergeist them, and then Rule makes them bigger again. So yeah, they have some cool combo attack. And then there's this dude that has a quirk called a second impact, which they didn't really explain it that much, but basically if there's like an impact somewhere, he can make like a second like aftershock or whatever that like makes like a second explosion. So yeah, they have pretty good destructive power, which makes it so Uraraka, Mina, and Mineta, they're all like kind of being attacked by these three while Deku's like fighting the Phantom Thief. So yeah, Deku gets kind of angry because the Phantom Thief is egging him on. His quirk is that he can copy whoever he touches quirk for 5 minutes. So yeah, Phantom Thief is using the Poltergeist quirk to keep Deku at bay. But then I'm not really worried for Deku. It's like he has one for all, so we can just like kind of rush in and defeat him. But I guess he's like stressed out for the Phantom Thief just like talking shit to him. So he kind of goes berserk. So yeah, this is crazy. Deku like he was so confident in his control for one for all, but yeah, there was something like an issue that was happening, and then it ties back to like the people talking in his head. So yeah, he kind of goes berserk, and then he has like these black tentacles flowing out of him, and then he looks like Venom with all these black tentacles around him that just like kind of lash out and attack everything. So yeah, they're going like 50 feet in all directions coming from Deku's arm. Deku, we hear he's kind of like frustrated with himself. He's like, oh, I tried so hard controlling one for all, and now like I'm back to where I am, like of going berserk. I can't like stop myself. And then yeah, All Might sees this. He kind of wants to stop the fighting, but then Uraraka comes in. She goes and hugs Deku, and then she also wants to help Deku since he's a hero himself. So who's gonna help the heroes if they're feeling bad? So yeah, Uraraka kind of restrains him, and then she calls for Shinso to brainwash Deku. So yeah, Shinso's out here coming in clutch. He tells Deku, yo, you want to fight me? Because he's thinking what one thing he could say to kind of make Deku respond to him. So I guess, yeah, Deku was waiting for their rematch. And then he gets brainwashed. So then his black vines, they kind of stop attacking, and then he's back to normal. And then we see Deku, he's in his head now. And then he's talking to like the owner of that quirk. It's like the one of the one for alls in the past. So we saw a bunch of them in his head. He's the 9th one, so there's like 8 more out here. And then he kind of has a bunch of ammunition wrapped up in his costume. So yeah, he's like some kind of like gun hero. And then his quirk is Black Whip. So Deku's basically like, he can use all the other quirks of the previous one for all users. So that is kind of crazy. Like, they just told us that. And it's pretty much like a huge shift in the story. Basically, we kind of thought one for all was just like, you know, super fast, super strong, and then, you know, that's all you have. You're basically like a Superman. But now it's kind of even more broken because it's like, okay, on top of that, you can use the other people's quirks as well. And it's stronger than before because it's like it's enhanced by one for all. So this dude Deku, who had 0 quirks before, now he has like kind of his one for all quirk as well as like the previous 8 people's quirks. So yeah, everyone kind of sandbags this, brushes it off. They're like, okay, it's fine, whatever. Like, All Might sees that this might be like some type of issue or something. So yeah, there's more to come there. But yeah, besides that, the joint training mission still continues. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see where the show will take us now. Like, Deku's quirk has evolved to like a new thing entirely. And then, yeah, we get more villains. We see All For One being locked up, and then he's like maybe hatching a plan to escape. As well as we see a bunch of his sympathizers, as well as the League of Villains. Alright, so for Vivy, Fluorite Eye's Song, episode 10. So we kind of get a 5-year time skip between the last episode and this episode, so we're like 65 years into the future now. Vivy's kind of in a museum now. She couldn't really sing anymore, so she stopped being like diva and just retired. And then now like her mission, make everyone happy with her singing. She's kind of stuck. But yeah, we kind of see Vivy just like in a museum. It's pretty sad because it's like her mission is over. She has no purpose anymore. And the fact that she can't even sing now, it's just like super sad. So yeah, Matsumoto finally visits her. It's their like 65-year anniversary, I guess. And then now Matsumoto tells her their mission is finished. This AI timeline that we're trying to fix with all these events. The last one was Ophelia and Antonio with their suicide. So we stopped their suicide, and then it's now a double suicide in this timeline. So their mission is still finished, though, because it's like no one followed after their suicide. So it just like changed the timeline for the good. And she kind of wants to learn more about like singing, who gave her mission to like make everyone happy with her singing with all her heart. So yeah, Vivi's kind of looking back in her records. She sees like her manufacturer gave her this mission because since she was the first like humanoid AI, they kind of wanted to know like what a heart is to an AI. So yeah, that kind of makes her in the predicament she's in now, where she doesn't really know how to sing with all her heart. So she just like is unable to sing in general. But then Matsumoto kind of like asks her to go on a race with him. Either Vivy like figures out how to sing again, or Matsumoto finishes his AI timeline shenanigans, because there's still some loose ends to tie up. So yeah, while Vivy's chilling in the museum, she sees this dude Osamu. He's this young guy that like really likes Vivy. And then he's like pretty upset why like no one really remembers her. All the other little kids that see her in the museum, they kind of ignore her. So yeah, Vivy asks Osamu for a race. It's if she can sing, or if Osamu can like get friends to visit Vivy. So yeah, it's a pretty innocent challenge. Vivy finds like a new point in her mission where she's trying to write a song herself. Like the only thing that would come close to that are just like, music producing programs that are just like created by humans. But it's not like an AI that's writing a song of their own free will. So yeah, Vivi's trying to do this in her head, just like create a new song. And then when she finishes it, like she'll be able to sing. We see like a huge kind of time skip, like where just like Vivi's trying to do her thing while that dude Osamu is growing up. So he keeps visiting her in the museum. He gets older. He introduces his friends to her. And he finally like gets his own family, like a wife. And then one day Osamu comes up. Apparently his wife Nana died. But then he has this daughter, Luna, and then he goes to see Vivy. He tells Vivy she can hold his daughter. And then, it's funny, because Osamu is an adult. He's being voiced by Dio, which is pretty funny. So yeah, Dio voicing another anime dad again. But basically he gives Vivy his daughter to hold. And then that kind of unlocks something inside of her. Where he tells her that, like, humans, they die. But then their experience and impact are, like, left onto, like, another person. So yeah, Vivy gets inspired to write a song about like her past, her experience, because it's like, okay, yeah, that's like kind of the essence of music. It's like whoever's writing the song, they're writing it about their own experiences. So yeah, Vivy had all these experiences doing the Singularity Project. So yeah, let me just write a song about that. So it was so simple. All you had to do was just like realize that writing with your heart means that like writing it about like everything you've experienced. The heart is basically like a thing where it grows depending on like who you interacted with, your outside experiences. So yeah, after that, kind of like an unknown amount of time happens because Vivy finally writes her song. I think they said it's been 20 years, and then like the song keeps playing. It's a pretty nice song, she finally made it. She shows it to Matsumoto, and then it's all good. And it's finally revealed that Osamu is Matsumoto. So apparently he was the dude that sent Vivy back in the past. So yeah, I guess everything happened for a reason. So yeah, the end credits play. It's a Vivy's song. There's no lyrics, but it's just like pretty much like a calm type of instrumental song. So yeah, everything's good. We kind of end the episode on a happy note, where Vivy finally finds like a purpose again, like learns how to sing again. But then once we finish the end credits, Vivy wakes up, and then we realize that everything's on fire. So this AI war is just like starting again. It's still going on. Their whole Singularity experiment where they like kind of saved everything, it's all for nothing. So we finally thought we had a good ending. Like this anime could have ended on this episode, and just like it feel like everything was all good. Vivy, she got writer's block and she solved it, and then she learned about like the human hearts. But yeah, everything is on fire now, and we see all these AIs that are murdering people. They're kind of singing as well, so they're singing Vivy's song. There could be like a bunch of reasons why this would happen, and then it's just like a huge pop off because it's like this whole anime, we try to stop this war from happening and it happens anyway. So yeah, have our actions all been for nothing? We will see. Alright, so for Tokyo Revengers episode 8. So Takamichi kind of like separates Mikey and Draken from fighting. He gets angry, And then he just yells at them saying, yo, you don't care about my stuff? And your fighting's gonna cause other people to fight. He's just yelling, trying to beat up on Mikey, swinging haymakers at him, but Mikey just dodges. And then Takemichi just falls into like a pile of garbage. So it's kind of like a huge comedy relief moment at the best time. His kind of angry attitude, but then him just like bumping into garbage and like having poop in his hair just like caused them to laugh at him and reunite. So yeah, everything's all good. Mikey, Draken are friends. We see Emma and Hinata hanging out, as well as all of Takemichi's boys playing soccer. So yeah, Takemichi thinks he saved the day, and then they plan to go to a festival on August 3rd. So yeah, August 3rd is still coming around, so, maybe don't get too relaxed, Takemichi. Like, there still might be some stuff happening. But yeah, second half of the episode, we have a nice festival trip. It's Takemichi with Hinata and Draken with Emma. So yeah, Takemichi and Hinata are like hanging out more. Their relationship is just like so strong. So a pretty big power couple. It's funny because Hinata's like pretty much the more stronger, confident type of person, and Takemichi's just like kind of like goofy. The thing is, it starts raining a bit, so as they're about to leave, like they just get wrapped around some trees and hang out. They're about to kiss, but then the kiss gets interrupted because Takemichi gets a phone call. He's good at like getting intel, so he tells Takemichi that Draken's life is being targeted. So yeah, this is kind of a wake-up call for Takemichi because yeah, his mission is not over. Just because he made Mikey and Draken stop fighting, there's still people in Mikey's squad that wanted to kill Draken. So yeah, it was a dude Payon that wanted to free Pa from jail, but then Draken said no. So yeah, Payon's probably targeting him. Takemichi, he goes to run, try to find Draken, but he bumps into the old members of the Manji gang that kind of like beat up on Takemichi when he was younger. Kiyomasa and his boys. So like the dude with the scar on his eyebrow and had the baseball bat. Takemichi bumps into him at the worst time. They're kind of like bitter that their claim to fame is over, and now they're just like normal people. So they find Takemichi and beat him up. So yeah, poor Takemichi, he sees that like, oh, just because he hanged out with Draken and Mikey doesn't mean he changed as a person. He's still like weak. He can't fight anyone. So yeah, he got beaten up. He's so sad, such a low point. Tied up with duct tape. And then Kiyomasa and the gang go try to find Draken to try to kill him. So then after that, Hinata comes through to rescue him. So yeah, the best girl to the rescue. It's so funny seeing Takemichi just like getting beaten up every episode basically, and seeing Hinata being like the hero. Hinata saying, you're not useless because like you care about others. Like your personality, you're strong in your own way. And then she gives him a kiss while he's on the floor. So yeah, Hinata and Takemichi's first kiss. Pretty cute moment there. But yeah, just like we can't relax just yet, okay? Draken's life is still being targeted. It's not really tense though, because it's like Draken's really tough, really tall, and really strong. So like it doesn't seem like his life is in immediate danger yet. There might be like another factor involved in his death, but yeah, just like it's August 3rd and it's the festival. So it's funny because like Takemichi like kind of changed the timeline a bit to save Draken, but now there's like even more people targeting Draken. So either for better or for worse, we'll see like how Draken deals with all of this and see if Takemichi can get to him in time. Alright, so for 86, episode 8, what a crazy emotional episode. Just like, damn, it feels kind of like all for nothing, just like a bunch of despair and desolation. People are dying, and just like the people of San Magnolia are turning a blind eye to everything. So yeah, it's kind of like crazy. It's like racism, just like exemplified and dramatized for like anime purposes, but yeah, goddamn. So we start off seeing like some of the Spearhead group, like I think most of them are dead already. So they're kind of like trying to do a one final mission to kill Shin's brother. And then yeah, most of the Spearhead group are dead. There's like 5 of them left. So like there were 9 of them left last episode, but then like maybe 4 of them died off screen. And it was like those random side characters. So yeah, rest in peace to them. So yeah, after that we go into the Kingdom of San Magnolia. We see Lena hanging out with her researcher friend Annette. And Annette's like trying to brush off all the 86ers dying because Lena keeps bringing it up, trying to save them. And Annette tells Lena, you should stop. Like, stop trying to save them. You're not going to help them. And Lena kind of sees through Annette's attitude where she sees Annette's like trying to ignore all the 86ers. She's like pretending to be evil and racist to like ignore their deaths so it doesn't like impact her. And when Lena calls her out on that, Annette just yells at her, like goes all crazy. She has like these big crazy eyes. She's just kind of laughing and sadistic. Mainly because like she reveals all her emotional baggage, which is pretty huge. So yeah, all these characters are suffering through something, and yeah, Annette's in the middle of it as well. So yeah, Annette and her family, they were neighbors with one of the 86ers, This was before all the war and everything. But yeah, once the war started, yeah, all the 86ers were like about to be sentenced to be in concentration camps. So then, like, weeks before this happened, like, all of her friends were kind of bullying Annette for being friends with like, someone with colored hair. So yeah, one day, the dude, the 86er, her neighbor, he tried to invite her to play catch, and then she basically called him a slur. Like, Annette didn't have a pass, and basically hurt his feelings. And then she feels super guilty yet since that happened, because the day after that, all the 86ers were sent to camps. So her neighbor that she never saw him again, basically. Also, if that wasn't enough, Annette basically insulting her childhood friend. Well, Annette's dad is working on some child experiments. So yeah, they have a human experiment plotline as well as a racism plotline. So if you didn't get the point that like the people of San Magnolia are kind of evil, this should kind of hammer it home that they're like double evil. So yeah, Annette's dad, he was the one that created the pararade for brain communication. And then yeah, to do that, they kind of had to do some human experiments. So yeah, we get some kind of interesting story points here. One, Annette's childhood friend was Shin, and his family. So yeah, we saw kind of like baby Shin hang out with Annette in the past. Yeah, it's like Shin knows Annette now and Lena. And then yeah, Shin had that ability to like read his mother's mind. And Annette's dad was kind of creating like equipment to like harness that power. Because yeah, he was just like kind of like innocently curious about it. Shin was basically the prototype guy, like he didn't need the pararray to communicate, but like they created the pararray based on Shin's brain. But then, yeah, as a result of that, I think, like, Shin's whole family died. His brother kind of blamed him for their death. It's like his power caused him to die. And then we see Shin's brother actually choking him out, so that's where he got those, like, neck scars. Like, yeah, his brother blamed him for their death. And then, yeah, to perfect the pararray, since it's, like, brain-to-brain communication, they had to, like, use human experiments to, like, get it right. So, yeah, lots of 86ers were, like, used for this experiment, so a lot of them died. So then, yeah, Annette's dad committed suicide, and then she was led to continue the research. So yeah, Annette was also part of like the human experiments, and yeah, we can see why she's like closing her heart off to 86ers, because if she remembers them, she'll just like be tragically reminded of all the evil shit that she did. And then yeah, like that's how the world is right now. There's like the parade, there's like the 86ers, all of that is just like done through racism and human experiments. So yeah, we see Annette's point of view. She also like turns it back on Lena, because she's saying, if you thought I'm bad, yo, Lena, you're worse. Because you're trying to give the 86ers hope. You're trying to, like, lead them to victory. But then you're basically forcing them to die in the end. Like, you're prolonging their death for no reason. Like, you're making them suffer even longer. And Annette ends it off with, I hate you, Lena. I never want to see you again. So, yeah, sad music as Lena just walks away. She realizes how, like, yeah, the racism runs deep. Even her friend Annette, who was like really nice, like a cool person, yeah, she has a dark past herself. And it was all because of, yeah, the way the kingdom is. So yeah, just like systemic racism out here, human experimentation, and yeah, just like war and death. So yeah, this anime is pretty much pouring it all on us. As well as Lena talking to her uncle because yeah, she wants to stop that genocide from happening. But yeah, the goal is to genocide them. Mainly because it's like, so there's no uprising. So basically, to make it not our fault anymore, what if we killed all the 86ers? So all the bad shit we did is forgotten about, and it's all good. So they're basically trying to rewrite history by making them, like, be seen as the good guys. There's, like, a few issues here. One of the big ones is that there's not a lot of people that remember the 86ers. It's not like people are going to forget about the 86ers entirely. That's like, part of your history. But yeah, that's basically the army's plan. It's like the whole country is like being built upon like just like greedy people that like want to control their own land. So yeah, that's pretty sad. Also yeah, we end up with the one final mission with all these 86ers. They're going to kill Shin's brother, but the plan is they're also going to be sentenced to death. So this is probably like their final ride. All of them kind of like gearing up, hanging out and talking before they go out to die. Shin goes with the plan to kill his brother. He gives Lena kind of a survival plan in case, like, the war is not over. And then he cuts out the parade. So there's 5 of them left. It's Shin, one of the blonde dudes, the tall black-haired dude, and then the 2 girls, the blue-haired girl and the red-haired girl. So yeah, everything seems kind of impossible and desolate for our main character, Lena. Okay, so for Odd Taxi Episode 8, things keep kind of escalating. The story keeps speeding up very fast. And then, you know, stuff is being built up, so yeah, I'm kind of scared to see where things will go. So we basically see that it's confirmed that Otokawa, he has a synthesia, where like his senses are stimulated to like kind of see people as animals. So yeah, this whole anime is being shown through Otokawa's point of view, where everyone's animals when they're actually people. So I wonder how they're gonna resolve that. Like, are we just gonna stay animals this whole anime, or are they just gonna turn into people one day? And like, is the whole art style gonna change? Well, I guess we'll see. But then yeah, we get some more stuff with the Goriki and the nurse. They're trying to help Otokawa, like help his brain. And then they kind of like see his past, where Otokawa, his parents abandoned him as a child, and then that's why he was always like kind of closed off and emotionless. Also, Kakihana, the monkey dude, was kidnapped, so I guess they're about to kill him. But we basically see their idol plan, where they're basically catfishing people on Tinder, kind of rich guys, and are robbing them and killing them for money. Yeah, it just seems kind of an inefficient way to make money, just robbing people one by one. So yeah, now Otokawa's in the middle of this fight with Yanu and Dobu. Both of them are actually trying to rob the bank with the lottery ticket winner. So then yeah, once he cashes that money out, he's gonna get robbed. So then Otokawa decides to do the right thing and call him, and drive him in his taxi. So he drives the lottery winner and says, "Don't cash that ticket in yet." So he basically saved the guy by telling him to act a bit low key until like stuff cools down a bit. But yeah, all of this is kind of escalating. Basically, Dobu and Yano, they have their plans to kind of like get money, be evil, and then Kakihana has to also be rescued. So all of that is going on. Maybe people will die, so I'm just like kind of interested to see where everything will go. Okay, so for To Your Eternity, episode 7, another banger episode as we kind of just like meet a new character. His name is Gugu, who is a mask guy. And then we kind of like see his whole backstory as he meets with Fushi. So basically it's him and his brother. They're like pretty poor, but they're doing kind of like menial jobs, like farming and selling things to like make money. And then one day he sees this like cute girl in the marketplace, and then he finds her dog. So then he gives the dog to the girl, and then she like thanks him and gives her a ring. And then she's like, "If you sell this ring, you never have to worry about money again." So pretty lucky dude, but I guess he holds on to the ring and doesn't sell it. Anyway, after that, he goes home, and his brother kind of betrayed him. Where his brother kind of took all their money they were saving and runs away to, like, I don't know, do something else. And then one day, there was this dude transporting these heavy logs on his cart, and then one of them kind of falls and gets stuck on his hill. Anyways, the log was kind of going downhill, and was about to hit this girl. It was the girl that gave the dude the ring. So he sees it and tries to save her. So he pushes her out of the way. She gets hurt a little bit, but then the log hits this guy in the face. So that's why he wears the mask. His face just got like totally beaten up. And I don't know how he survived this, but yeah, the girl lived. She never realized who saved her. So then he gets rescued by this old man who is into like experiments. And he kind of like saved this dude's life. But then his face is just permanently disfigured. And then he wears a mask to hide it. So they don't reveal how bad his face looks, but I mean, I guess we can just assume that yeah, his features aren't where it should be. He kind of wears like this tiki frog mask, and he's working with the old man ever since. So yeah, his life kind of changed a lot. So yeah, 3 months later, Fushi visits him with the old lady, and then yeah, they become friends. So yeah, they hang out. Gugu kind of teaches him more about life, taking showers, and then like learning more like expressions. We hear that the old lady Puron kind of wants to sell Fushi, but then Gugu says no, don't sell him. He's cool. So yeah, I'm loving this brotherhood between them. But then we meet Breen, who is the girl that Gugu saved, but she doesn't recognize him since he wears the mask. So when he tries to talk to her, because she wants to buy some medicine for her pain, but then she sees Fushi, and Fushi's basically Mr. Steal Your Girl right here, because Rain is so interested in him. I guess this tall, white-haired European boy, she's more into than this native dude that's wearing a mask. So yeah, Gugu's kind of salty that the girl's into Fushi. But yeah, they kind of hash it out and resolve it in the end. And yeah, that was kind of a cool episode. We get Gugu's whole sad backstory, but he's like kind of bouncing back and living his life working with the old man. And then he meets up with Fushi, so, this is probably a significant part of their development. I wonder what's going to happen. Are we going to continue the trend of people dying and Fushi absorbing them? Or is something different going to happen this time? We will see. Alright, so for Fruits Basket, the final episode 8. Oh my god, more drama, more sadness. Like Toru kind of pulled the trigger and everything. Kind of like a Fruits Basket classic where I was kind of yelling at the screen, telling these characters to get their shit together, but no, they didn't listen. So Kyo asked Toru if she likes him, because Toru's about to like confess. But then Kyo starts the confession first and just like straight up like tells her, "Do you like me or not?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I like you." And he straight up rejects her. He's actually like has some conflict inside of him. Like, okay, why would anyone like me? Where he basically admits that he killed Toru's mom, and this is kind of how it happened. It wasn't really like the way we expected, but yeah. So he recalls that Toru's mom Kyoko, they met when he was like really young, and then the mom like gave him head pats and stuff because like he didn't really have a cool family life himself. Like his mom died, and his dad kind of blamed him for the mom's death. So yeah, Kyo and Kyoko are hanging out. It's kind of suspicious because Kyo's like this young boy, 8 years old or whatever, and Kyoko's like this grown woman. So what business does she have hanging out with Kyo when her daughter's just like sitting at home lonely? So yeah, that was another weird thing, but I guess I'll just chalk it up to like the oldness of the story. And then yeah, Kyoko showed Kyo like pictures of her daughter and everything. So yeah, they have a good friendship. They keep talking every day. But then one day, that moment happened where Toru was lost. So Kyo realizes that, okay, leave it to me. I'll find her for you. But he was beaten by Yuki. So yeah, Yuki found Toru. We know this. Like, he gave her the hat and everything. So yeah, Kyo realizes that he failed. And he stopped seeing the mom. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of like not a big deal. But for Kyo, everything's a big deal for him. Very emotional guy he is. So yeah, he stopped seeing the mom. And then one day he met the mom actually on the street. And then they were just like chilling. He didn't really talk to her, but he recognized her back. And then the mom was crossing the street where she was about to get hit by a car. So then Kyo almost tried to save her by grabbing her. But he realizes that if he like embraces her, then he's going to turn into the evil cat spirit. So, anime car crash right here. Very common trope to kind of like keep things going. Toru's mom said, "Oh, I'm not gonna forgive you," like as her dying words. So he blames himself. He's like very self-hating. So yeah, he tells all of this to Toru. Basically, his whole backstory and how he met Toru's mom when he was younger, and how Toru's mom kind of stepped into traffic and died randomly. So yeah, Toru says, "Bro, I don't care. Like, if my mom says I don't forgive you, I'll rebel against her." And yeah, we see this. It's like, just because Kyo like regrets all of this, like has all these like sad moments and memories and emotions, it's like that's in the past, first of all. Second of all, he didn't murder her. It's like he didn't save her either, but it's like it's not like he pulled the trigger. She moved on with her mom dying. I mean, obviously she like loves her mom, but it's like this doesn't matter too much to her. Thing is, Kyo rejects her and says, "I'm disappointed in you." Like, damn, he expected Toru to hate him, but he got the opposite reaction. She loves him even more. So then he runs away. Big red-haired tsundere. Yuki actually sees them talking, and he chases after Kyo to kind of like, snap him back into reality, saying like, "Yo, how dare you reject Toru?" And perfect timing, because Toru is there by herself in front of the house. It's raining and everything. She just got rejected. She's really sad. And Akito just shows up behind her, wielding a knife. And then, yeah, she ran all this way to kind of murder Toru. Because I guess this is where she sees that Toru is the reason that all her bonds are breaking. All the Zodiac people met Toru, and she was kind of like the catalyst to everything. So yeah, Akito wants to murder Toru. So yeah, I wonder if she does get stabbed and murdered. They probably won't murder her, but if she really does, it's like Kyo probably like led to her death again. But damn, I can't really handle where the show is going. Just so much drama, so much characters with self-hatred and family issues. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. If Toru's about to get murdered, yeah, we will see. Alright, so for Shadow's House episode 8, we continue this whole maze trip. All the dolls trying to like do their own thing. We see Rum's master. She's actually surrounded by like this poison ivy, and has her dress sewn into the chair, so if like she gets pulled out, her dress is gonna rip. So yeah, that's pretty risky over there. She's like pretty hard to free. And then we also see Lou and Ricky hanging out. So they're finding Lou's master, Luis, and they see her in like this underground kind of trap door in this garden. So yeah, Lou saves Luis. It was pretty simple, and yeah, they love each other. We see Luis really loves Lou. It's pretty annoying that she's like kind of like narcissistic like this, but yeah. Also, Ricky was working with Lou. He kind of gets insulted by Lou's master, so he feels kind of evil now. He's like, "All right, maybe I'm gonna knock them both down into this trap hole because they're insulting me." So yeah, watch out for that. So then after that, we have Ameliko and Rum. They're trying to save Rum's master, but they're lost in this underground maze. There are a lot of these soot bugs just like chasing after them in this underground maze as Rum tries to navigate through everything. Milko has a broom to kind of like attack stuff, and Rum is trying to push the cart to escape. So yeah, they're fighting underground, and then they finally find the exit, and then they make it through. And then after that, we get a kind of like a sad and cool explanation about Rum and her master. So yeah, Rum's master is called Shirley, but then she's never talked to Rum ever. So Rum has no idea how her emotions are because like she doesn't talk. So then Amelico sees this as a positive, not a negative. Alright, just because Shirley doesn't talk to you doesn't mean like anything. Rum is always thinking about herself instead of her master. And then Shirley doesn't even release a lot of soot, so there's nothing to clean either. But then Amelico says, if you can't see your master's face, like none of us can see our master's face. So we have to use our imagination. It's like the fact that she doesn't talk, maybe she has nothing distressing her. And then she doesn't release soot because maybe she's never stressed. So I think, yeah, this is pretty cool because, maybe Shirley, she might be mute, or she just might be super shy and not be able to talk or communicate. So yeah, Amelico gives Rum some newfound confidence. Also, after that, the show ends with Edward doing his evil plans. Him, and he has like these other two doll friends with him. And then he also wants to climb up the ranks. So he wants to go to the 3rd floor. There's basically 3 floors, and he's on the 2nd floor. And I guess if you're on the 3rd floor, you're like some big shot. You work with the grandfather and everything. And then we see Edward. He's just playing the piano very creepily at the end. And then we see that he's breaking this whole thing. So, like, this whole, like, selection of, like, which doll is gonna make it. It's basically, like, his game. Like, he created this game for, like, entertainment purposes. And then, yeah, as he's playing the piano, we can see that he's, like, controlling the soot as he's playing piano. So that's kind of weird. Is he a doll? Is he a shadow? Like, I wonder what that's all about. Alright, so for Joran, The Princess of Snow and Blood, episode 9. So yeah, Yukimura finally agrees with Jin to, like, continue on with her revenge. Try to do their one last mission. So yeah, she realizes that Makoto, she sent drugs to the anti-government forces. That blue blood thing that's, like, turning people into, like, these animal spirit fighters. So they have to go back to Tokyo to kind of stop them. So then, yeah, Yukimura sees another assassin girl. She has, like, blades in her body, like metal strips that she can kind of control to, like, stab people. So she's kind of like the Wolverine. But yeah, they're basically going to Tokyo to do their last mission. So then they go on a train. They're hanging out. We see that she's, like, a huge drunk. But then she fights really well when she's drunk. And then, yeah, she got tortured when she was younger. Basically, the people from Nue, they inserted metal strips in her body one by one. And she has like 51 metal strips in her body. So yeah, that was cool. We saw another cool, cute assassin lady. But then yeah, the main thing that happened here, Yukimura, as she's back to her normal self, trying to like catch some bodies. We end the episode with Jin and Yukimura fighting. Like, we see Jin has some markings on his back. Like, maybe he was working with Genome. We saw, like, they call Genome a traitor, so, maybe everything was, like, all started by the government. Also, we saw that Jin took, like, the blue blood medicine as well. So yeah, Jin probably can also turn to an animal spirit. The story is fun. It's going like kind of all over the place. It's not really consistent or anything, but it's just like action on top of action. Yeah, I'm down with that. Alright, so for I Killed Slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level, episode 8. Really fun, wholesome episode. Nothing significant happened, but yeah. But I guess we met a new character, so yeah, that's cool. So yeah, we start off with the 2 dragons, Laika and Flat Torte. They're basically fighting, having competitions to please Azusa. But the fact that they can't fight with their fists since they signed a treaty means that they do cookie baking competitions instead. The winner gets to sleep with Azusa. The thing is, Azusa eats both of their cookies and say, yo, they're both good. So yeah, very cop-out answer as she picks the neutral path. And, the comedy continues. But yeah, we get the kind of explanation that the dragons are carnivores. And they didn't get to eat a lot of meat recently, so that's why they're so, like, intense with these competitions. So yeah, they get a mission to kill some boars to get meat. So yeah, they go in the forest, they go find the boars and kill them. And huge kind of meat eating event happens. We also see some random like risky moments where Flat Torte, she's not really used to her human form, she doesn't like wearing clothes. So she just strips naked while fighting the boars. So yeah, that was kind of like weird. So yeah, the first half of the episode we see the 2 dragons eating meat. But then in the second half of the episode, we get a new character. So there's this imposter witch of the Highlands, and she's kind of like stealing Azusa's street cred by like, pretending to be her. So yeah, they go to find her. They go to a bar where there's like a verbal abuse theme going on. So it's kind of like the cafe from Blend S where like there's the sadistic girl looking at you. So yeah, after that they find the imposter witch of the Highlands. She's this red-haired kind of hipster witch that wants to be famous, but she also wants to be a bit unknown. Like, so she wants to be kind of like a mysterious, famous character. So yeah, this red-haired witch Eno, she's kind of like convinced by Azusa to be more open. So yeah, we end the episode off with like a convention where she's going to sell all her medicine, and then yeah, she gets like pretty famous and pretty well known. And then yeah, we see all the other characters running around the convention. So yeah, just another wholesome episode. Okay, and now for Ijiranaide, Nagatoro-san. So a lot of funny skits happening this episode. Nagatoro going on Senpai's back while he does push-ups, and then people walking in on them. Nagatoro teasing the senpai because he's falling back on his studies. So it's like, if you get left back, then we'll be your senpais. And then he'll be like the ex-senpai. We also see the senpai. He has a splinter in his finger, so the other girls are helping him get it out. And then Nagatoro kind of gets jealous, so she gets it out for them. And then at the end, they do some rock, paper, scissors to carry each other's bags home. Nagatoro loses, so she has to carry the senpai's bag, but then she wants a rematch, and then she wins. So instead of carrying her bag, the senpai has to give her a piggyback ride. He accidentally grabs her thigh, so then she backs up and runs away, all red and flustered. Anyway, he's at home, and he gets a call from her, and then, yeah, she's in the bath while she's calling. So she's like, "Yo, senpai, why are you so embarrassed?" But it's because it wasn't a call, she was FaceTiming him. So senpai could see everything while she's in the bath. So yeah, pretty funny. Senpai basically saw Nagatoro naked, copped some feels earlier, and everything. So yeah, pretty lucky dude he is. And yeah, the teasing goes on, but it goes both ways this time.